Ugh, this weather is killing my work plans. All right, guys, this week the weather is killing me. That's one of the things about being self-employed and having an outside job is sometimes you get mandatory days off. I've really tried to do as much as I can to utilize my time, but I have got 20-degree temperatures in the down into the teens, sleet, snow, and we are just struggling getting stuff done. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of what I've got going on, and then I'm going to start making some cabinet doors today inside the shop. I'll give you guys some bits and pieces of that as well. Good job. Now go down. Now go down with it.
Like this?
Yep.
I've never done it like this.
I know. It's awesome.
It's weird.
All right, so Lisa's got this space right here that is kind of wasted. So what we came up with is a shelf that will slide into that pocket. It's not going to be a sliding shelf, but it'll be stationary in there. And she'll be able to utilize this space here for clothes or what have you. All right, that's on. That's on. So it's so we're gonna nail that to there. All right, we're getting the plumbing going, and I have got Lisa struggling up there. We are feeding wire from the toggle panel all the way back, and that's what is going to power the water pump. All right, so I'm getting her pump plumbed. Bobbie is working on a mounting board for me, and I want that pump to be the filter to be horizontal. The pump, it doesn't matter. And I've got my shutoff valve here, and so this is what I'm working on. And Bobbie, wish me luck. Nice.
Here we go.
All right, that's perfect. And then my water pump will mount right to that. What I originally wanted was for there not to be any joints in here. I was going to use some of these bendable brackets, and this is just too tight. This would slide over, and I just feel like that's going to be a tight, and I've got no way to really secure those, so trying to utilize every bit of this. That's going to be a tight bend. So we're going to put some elbows on it.
This?
Higher, higher. Right there. There there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to make cabinetry, how to make cabinets, how to make, you know, the doors and everything involved in making cabinet bases inside their van. So what they do is they go to Home Depot or Lowe's, or maybe somebody's remodeling their house, and they end up with some regular kitchen type, bathroom type cabinets. And I want to show you guys, if you are doing that, what you can do to make some modifications to maximize the amount of space that you have using one of those type of bases. Let's take a look. All right, so here is her kitchen base that she bought. This one was 1 unit and that one was 1 unit. So what we did on this one, this was a solid front sink front. It was tacked in by 4 little brackets. You get underneath the inside of the cabinet, get up underneath here and use a pry bar and you prop this off. Once you pop this off, you can see I put it on a piano hinge, added a tray to it that she could put her washcloth, sponges, whatever she needs. And then I built her a space back here. And you know those Coleman stoves, these things are long. I mean, look how long that is. So whether or not you put a Coleman stove or your Camp One or a silverware tray, you're talking about a ton of usable space that's normally lost because of this sink front. So that was one thing that we did. The other thing that we did, let me open this back up again. The other thing that I did is I put some shelves in there for her. So I put an upright so things won't slide off and come into this area. So I put a divider up. She's got the shelf on bottom and a shelf on top that she can put a ton of stuff in. This one actually is big enough for like an egg crate. So she can keep all of her stuff nicely contained, her cleaning products, her canned goods, anything that's heavy in these cabinets, and she has a ton more space. Because anytime you have a big open area like this, typically what you'll see is people just shoving all kinds of stuff in there, trying to stack totes, and it just really works out better if you've got an organized area that you can put a shelf in. Her Ninja will actually fit there if she chooses to do so. And then the other thing that I did is on the bottom, you've got a kick plate. And her kick plate got busted when she was installing this. So what I did was you can see where I made her another kick plate over here, one on this side, but then I framed that in just using the 3/4 inch plywood. And now she has usable little space back there that she can put shoes in there. She can put a drawer in there and put more canned goods stuff, and just a lot more space doing it that way. So those are just some ideas on increasing that space. The other thing that I did is she's got another one of those cabinets here in the back. Let me turn the camera around and show you. And what I did when I mounted this cabinet is, because it's pre-built and it's square, I mounted it to the back of the cabinet and to the side of this cabinet base. I left that top open. Instead of putting a false front up there, I left it open, and then she can store like her Reflectix up there. She can shove, I mean, honestly, she can shove her flip-flops or her house shoes up there, her toiletry bag, any kind of, you know, small, because you've got, see how much room you've got there? You've got, you know, a good 2 inches. 2¼ inches up there. So that is another way to maximize the space using these store-bought cabinets that you get from Home Depot, Lowe's, or if you've got a family member doing some rip out and they're going to give you their bases. So getting that ceiling stained.
Yep.
Clear coated. You having fun?
I am. I haven't really painted much, so this is fun.
That looks good. I'm going to build this cabinet right here, and I want to show you this little angle tool that I love to use. It helps me find the right angle here. Now, that is one of the first things that you have to do, is to be able to find this angle. Now, you can see that I'm hitting the ceiling here, but I can hold this down and I can see that I've got the same distance on the left side of the board as I do on the right side of the board. So I'm pretty sure that that's my angle. So then I'll go back to the table saw and I'll set this up on my table saw, get that angle right, cut a board, and then we're going to come back and see if that works. All right, so you're going to come back to your table saw and you're going to get your angle set up on top of that saw to that top blade there, and that is going to work. Okay, so we got our board cut, and we're going to see how close we are to that angle, and I am pretty happy with that. All right, I got her overhead base started, and what I did was I put a couple of undermount LEDs, and this really, really brightens this spot up, especially at night. Nice light for when she's cooking, and a nice shelf for putting plates or cups. So it's very durable, and so I got that done. All right, so her cabinet is 23 5/8 by 11 7/8. So on these uprights here, I subtracted the 3 inches of this width here. This is 1.5 inches, that's 1.5 inches. So instead of making this 11 7/8, I made it 8 7/8. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on your vertical sides, put your Craig bit right here, and then this will all screw together. Okay, so now that I've got this sanded nice and smooth, it's exactly how I want it as a door. Now we've got to cut this to approximately the length. I'm going to overhang it a little bit, and we're going to trim that. But for right now, I am going to cut this right here. I'm just going to mark where I want it. There. I'm going to mark that. I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't damage it. And then I'm going to cut this. There we go. Now I've got this cut approximately the length that I want it. So now I'm going to go and soak it in water so it'll soften it up a bit. So let's take it inside. I'm going to roll it this way. All right, and we're going to take that inside and soften that up. All right, so we got this out of the water, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the edge over here, and you wanna line up your pattern so that you know your pattern matches. So I've got my pattern lined up, and I'm gonna start over here, and I'm gonna start working my way to the other side, just putting some staples in. Maddie. Stop it. Just a staple gun. All right, so there you have it. The door is done, and you can see by letting that cane dry overnight, it really tightened that up. Last night, when the cane was wet, I went ahead and put a trim. It's about 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch round all the way around the inside of that. I just used a little pin nailer to tack that down. And I really feel like that pulled that even tighter, just added support with the staples. And then this morning when I sanded that down, that really gave that a nice finished look. All right, guys, as you can see on these last couple of projects, I didn't do a lot of recording. I'm really trying to knock this build out for Lisa. She took a year off, and we're burning up her time. The weather has been horrible. I really got a lot of this done when it was really, really cold, and the camera just does not do well in 13 to 26, 23 degree temperatures. So anyway, so thanks for your patience on that. And if you have any questions about anything that I did, ways that I did anything, please leave them in the comments below. I answer every single comment. If we can't chat back and forth on YouTube comments, we'll get on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, and we will get your questions answered. As always, you can email me at midwestvanbuilders@gmail.com, and I answer all those emails daily. So anyway, thanks for following along. We'll see you guys on the next video.